Sources of Short-Term Financing, Chapter 8, Part 2. Maturity provisions. Could be a term loan. Credit is extended for 1 to 7 years. Loan is usually repaid in monthly or quarterly installments. Only superior credit applicants qualify. Interest rate fluctuates with the market conditions. Interest rates may be tied to the prime rate or LIBOR. Cost of commercial bank financing. Effective interest rate on a loan is based on the loan amount, dollar interest paid, length of the loan, and method of repayment. Effective rate is interest times day in the year, 360, principal over days loan and outstanding. In case of a discounted loan, interest is deducted in advance and effective rate increases. Interest costs with compensating balances. Assuming that 6% is the stated annual rate and that 20% compensating balance is required. The effective rate with compensating balances would be 6% over 1 minus 0.2, which gives you 7.5%. When dollar amounts are used and the stated rate is not known, the following can be used for computation. Rate on installment loans. Installment loans require a series of equal payments over the period of the loan. Effective rate of interest on installment loans would be almost double the quoted rate of interest. Effective rate is 2 times annual number of payments times interest, or the total number of payments plus 1 times the principal. Annual percentage rate. The Truth in Lending Act of 1968 requires the actual APR to be given to the borrower. The annual percentage rule requires the use of the actuarial method of compounded interest during computation. The lender must calculate interest for the period on the outstanding loan balance at the beginning of the period. It is based on the assumptions of amortization. The credit crunch phenomenon. The Federal Reserve tightens the growth in the money supply to combat inflation. The effect: decrease in funds to be lent and an increase in interest rates. Increase in demand for funds to carry inflation-laden inventory and receivables, and massive withdrawals of saving deposits at banking and thrift institutions, fueled by the search for higher returns. Credit conditions can change dramatically and suddenly due to unexpected defaults, economic recessions, and changes in monetary policy or other economic setbacks. Financing through commercial paper. Commercial paper represents a short-term unsecured promissory note issued to the public in minimum units of 25,000 except asset-backed commercial papers. Forms of commercial paper include finance paper or direct paper sold by financial firms to the lender, dealer paper or paper sold by companies through dealer network, and asset-backed commercial paper. Book entry transactions. Computerized handling of commercial paper where no actual certificate is created. Total commercial paper outstanding, non-financial, financial, and asset-backed. As you can see, it kind of peaked in the 2007 as many people wanted to buy asset-backed commercial paper. Advantages of commercial paper is they may be used at below the prime interest rate, as indicated in the last column of Table 8-1. This rate differential is normal 2 to 3%. No associated compensating balances are required, and associated prestige for the firm to float their paper really in a snobbish market. Comparison to commercial paper rate to prime rate, as you can see. There are limitations on the issuance of commercial paper, though. Many lenders have become risk-averse post a multitude of bankruptcies. Firms with downgraded credit rating do not have access to the market, and the funds generation associated with this is less predictable, and lacks the degree of commitment and loyalty associated with bank loans. And Chapter 8, Part 2.